In this painting, I want to talk with you about the most famous painting in the world, the Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci, painted around 1503 to 1517. It's at the Louvre Museum in Paris. And this is only my opinion. I don't want to be dogmatic, but I do believe this to be true. Take a look for yourself and see if you agree. The title, Mona Lisa, is an anagram for M as a lion. Now, this title of Mona Lisa was not created by Leonardo da Vinci, but by a man named Giorgio Vasari, who wrote a very famous art book called Lives of the Most Excellent Painters, Sculptors, and Architects. And he came out with 2 volumes. First volume was in 1550, about 20 years after Leonardo da Vinci passed away, and the second volume was in 1568, which is, I believe, still in print, and that's the version that we see most of the time in today's books, Lives of the Most Excellent Painters. And one of the people that he talks about is Leonardo da Vinci, and he coined the term Mona Lisa. Now, Mona is another name for a polite form of noblewoman, like ma'am or madame or my lady. And M is, I think, an abbreviation for that, for M as a lion. Now, the reason I think that Giorgio Vasari, this is a portrait of Giorgio Vasari, painted by attributed to Jacopo Zucchio, painted around 1571. This is at the Uffizi Gallery in Florence. But Vasari, I think, saw what I call a multi-reference, which is when an artist takes several parts from another artist and incorporates it into a single artwork. And I believe that Leonardo da Vinci multi-referenced the painter Hans Memling in the Mona Lisa. And I think Giorgio Vasari spotted this. Now, the big clue, other than the title, is in Memling's painting called Allegory with a Virgin, also called Chastity, painted around 1480 by Hans Memling. It's at the Musée Jacquemart André, butchered that, in Paris. And in that picture, there are 2 lions, and the lion's paws look like the left arm of Mona Lisa, and Mona Lisa has her hand curled as though she has a paw instead of a hand. And Leonardo also made references to other parts of this painting. I think that an artist makes several references to a single painting when they want to make an important connection to that. The lion's curved tails are repeated in the curve of the pathways on the left and right behind the Mona Lisa. Let's see what else. The mountains in the upper left have the mountain in the upper right is kind of repeated in the upper right of Mona Lisa. If you compare the two, it's not quite as prevalent, but still I think the same shape. And Da Vinci referenced more than just this painting. He referenced actually most of the paintings by Hans Memling, I think. And just to show you a few examples, this next one I want to show you is is Vanity, painted around 1490 by Hans Memling. It's at the Musée des Beaux-Arts de Strasbourg in France. And you can see the likeness between the woman painted by Hans Memling and Mona Lisa. It's an amazing likeness. It could be the same girl. This painting by Memling actually multi-references another artist, Jan van Eyck, the likeness of the woman in the Arnolfini portrait, as well as a dog similar to the dog in the Arnolfini portrait, and sandals, which are also featured in the Arnolfini portrait, and the fact that she's a nude woman, which Van Eyck painted Eve in the Ghent altarpiece. But anyway, so Da Vinci multi-referenced several paintings by Memling, and this is another one. A third one I want to show you here is St. John the Baptist in Patmos, painted around 1479 by Hans Memling. It's at the Memling Museum in Bruges, the St. John's Hospital in Bruges, Belgium. And you can see that St. John the Baptist has his arms crossed in a similar fashion that Mona Lisa has her arms crossed. The rainbow, sort of round rainbow at the top of the Memling painting also is kind of repeated in excuse me, the shawl that Mona Lisa wears over her left shoulder, kind of a rounded with striped shape over her shoulder. And then the last painting which I want to show you, and you can look on Wikimedia Commons and other websites and look at other works by Hans Memling, but this last one is a portrait painted by Memling, and Memling painted several dozen portraits with the angle of view of the head at the same angle as this, which is what was repeated by Da Vinci in the Mona Lisa. And this is Sibylla Sambetha, painted in 1480, also at the St. John's Hospital, the Memling Museum in Bruges, France. Belgium. And so I think it's a clever way for Vasari to reference that Da Vinci was multi-referencing Hans Memling, especially Allegory of a Virgin, and making the title as an anagram for M as a lion. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I have a newsletter which I also created. It's a free newsletter talking about art and tools for understanding and creating masterworks of art, and I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you.